Peace and blessings and namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and I apologize for the lateness. Okay, I've been running around all day, and for the y'all who know me, I always have a lot going on. So I'm like, yeah, right. But I thought this was important because I was being pushed to get this out. Okay, and possibly for the past couple of days, I just couldn't find the time to do it. Now, I want to also apologize because I really wanted to do this in a PowerPoint presentation so I can show you the visuals and help you with the understanding. But because I have so much junk, I'm not going to say junk. I apologize. Because I have so much stuff on my laptop, it was slow. It was going to take forever to upload. It was going to take forever to get this thing going. Everything was moving like, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, that means I either have to figure out a way to clean up my laptop, free up some memory, or just go ahead and invest in another one. And if you know me, I hate spending money. I hate it. But I have to do what I have to do. So this is the disclaimer that I want to put out there. Okay, for a lot of people who are following this channel and following others. Okay, it is so very important for you not to compare. Okay, you can't compare apples with oranges because there's so many different teachers out here that is gifted and focused in their own areas. Okay, I need for you to know that there are those L's who are here on this earth that are teaching on platforms that is designed to reach the masses, but they're going to reach the masses, but they have to lower what they are teaching to draw everybody in. So they may know the concepts, the things that I talk about, but not be charged with talking about them because they have a completely different charge, okay? And if they're trying to draw in the masses, they can't make things too complicated. Now, me, I'm not here to draw in the masses, okay? I am here to assist my brothers and sisters in this journey. Now, I know that this becomes disturbing sometimes when I'm calling you guys L's and gods and goddesses, because especially if you grew up in a Christian type of mindset, to you that is considered blasphemous, okay? And so therefore, I only reach those who have graduated from that school of thought. Okay, and there are others, you know, who are going to say, okay, this person is out of their mind or this, that, and the third, and that's why they can't stick with this channel. But if you are one of the ones who is stuck with this channel and other channels like myself that hit into some very heavy concepts, especially with duality, understanding the natures of the L's and things of that nature, you're probably drawn to it because you yourself are one. And maybe you have not discovered it yet, or maybe you are in the process of discovering it. But the only point is, some of us had to awaken a little bit earlier so that we can help our brothers and sisters go through this journey. Okay, because it can be confusing, it can be wild, okay, it can make you feel like you're losing your mind. But trust me when I say that it's not. For those of you who did grow up in Christianity, you know, and understanding certain ways that you were taught in the church, you have to remember that even in the New Testament, Yeshua himself, okay, had started bringing out some concepts. You must understand that there was two different crowds that he taught, okay? He taught his elect, okay, meat, and then he taught the masses milk, okay? So that's the same charge that many of us are here on, because God forbid I mess up anybody's journey or way of walk and get them out of their path. Okay, that is not my job, and that is not what I'm designed to do. Okay, but for those who are selected by source that is drawn to this channel, I am charged with teaching you the truth. Okay, or bringing out things to make you think. Okay, and understand this. Now, getting back to Yeshua. Remember some of the things that he said in the New Testament. He reminded his followers that wasn't it written, ye were gods, or ye are gods? Okay, so he already knew who he was targeting. The 12 disciples that he chose was not a coincidence. It wasn't because he just walked out and decided to pick 12 men. No, they were emanations of previous life forms. Okay, and he knew who they were. Okay, so now Let's keep on going. Another thing he kept saying to them, why are you calling me good? There's only one that's good, and that's the Father. Okay, now why is he saying that? Because he's in 3D form. He's in earth realm, so he cannot be perfect yet. Okay, but he can show you how to walk in righteousness. And that's what many of us are here doing. Do not confuse being good with being righteous. These are two different concepts. When we walk and live a righteous life, this is right sound reasoning, right mind. You know, this is understanding what is beneficial to you, your soul, your spirit, and what is not. Okay, this is always upward momentum. This is always us rediscovering, correcting wrongs, and keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. So we don't become perfected here, but we do become righteous. Okay, and when you become righteous on this journey, everything is opened up to you. Remember, even in the Hindu religion, when they were talking about the lokas and the certain states of consciousness, there was one called God consciousness. And this consciousness is when you are really connected. You are the eye of Ra. All right. Now, for some people that are saying, you know, you have different teachings concerning the eye of Ra. Some say that it is the feminine counterpart, that it is the judge. Okay, this is the one that does all the correcting. Okay, if you cross-reference that, then that would be synonymous of the Holy Spirit to broaden understanding. Okay, to do the correcting, all of that, and the comforter for the elect who is suffering during this time. Okay, we are here to bring about those comforts. All right, remember also, Yeshua said, greater works will you do than what I do. All right, greater works will you do. Okay, so he's already letting them know that everything that he can do, they can do. Okay, and this is the incarnations during this time where many of us have and are starting to remember and starting to unlock previous emanations. Even in the book of Enoch, he was referred to as the Ancient of Days, and he didn't even know it. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is many of you do not yet know who you are. You do know that you're different. Okay, you do know that you march to the beat at your own drum. You do know that you have a certain level of fearlessness. And you do know that you have a certain level of understanding and connection with the divine that can't be explained. Okay, I have already explained to you guys that, you know, when it comes down to gaslighting and saying somebody's delusional or crazy or this, that, and the third, it's because they probably have not unlocked that portion of their brains yet. Okay, so a person that is operating at 50% capacity, 75% capacity, even 25% capacity at one time is going to look strange to anybody else who may only be dealing with the 10% at one time. Okay, this is where science meets religion and they marry. Do you understand? Okay, everything was meant to complement one another on different levels of consciousness. So for the science community, we have concepts that still tie into the spiritual community, but they're separate depending on which side of the brain is most active. So if you're in your analytical, logical mind, you may lean more to science than you do spirituality. And that's okay, as long as you get the concepts of what it is to be in that righteousness. Okay, now the eye of Ra. A lot of us was taught, you know, growing up, and we have this idea of God, right? And we have this idea of God, you know, being way up in the heavens, looking down over humanity and judging and this, that, and the third. Okay, we have that. But if you consider this one little line that Jesus said, that Yeshua said, no, it wasn't in them. Okay, but if you consider this one little line of the New Testament, we're going to get past what Yeshua said. That's for a different teaching. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up because that was going to take me down a completely different path. So let's go to this, okay? Remember when they said, greater is he that lives in me than he of the world, okay? This is an integration. Okay, this is an integration where we become the ambassadors, and I keep saying this over and over again, representing God on this journey. It's not about a conscious being sitting on a throne and looking over all of mankind and judging it. No, it's when you're tapped into God consciousness, which is one of the lokas in Hinduism. It's a state of mind where you are literally connected. Okay? So what you are experiencing, God is experiencing. What you are seeing, God is seeing. Anything that you are learning, he's observing. So this is God consciousness operating on the earth realm through you. That's why he's all knowing. That's why he's omniscience. That's why he's omnipotent, because his vessels here, okay, who are partnered with the divine and have that in their consciousness, is literally acting like God's on this earth. Okay, do you understand? Hopefully you'll get it. Okay, so when we talk about the eye of Ra, we were talking about feminine, energy that is enacting justice, processing this earth journey with the eye of God. All right, with the eye of God. I never understood what Yeshua said when he said these words, I and the Father are one, until recently. Now, I've had, the Christian viewpoint. Oh, that's when we're filled with the Holy Spirit. No, when he rests and we are connected on a conscious level, this is literally the case. And this was also one of the reasons why he got crucified or stoned, according to the stories. Okay? Nobody wants to hear you saying that you are a walking god or goddesses, but it doesn't mean that it's not true just because they don't want to hear it. All right? You are operating as ambassadors on this earth and therefore have the ability to make judgment calls, to be logos. Okay? This is a certain group that was called. Now, the reason why they say many are called but chosen are few is because this walk is so incredibly difficult to do. It really is. You really have to know the balance of things, the scales, okay? And typically my aunt represents the scales, okay? That's what she does. So while you're walking, you're doing your everyday life, just understand, if you are connected with God consciousness, he's walking and doing his everyday life too, through you. Okay? So when you are experiencing injustices, when you are experiencing laws being broken and things like that, or people hurting one another, when you are seeing it, God is seeing it. His eyes is everywhere because he's living. That consciousness is living in you. Okay? That's why you are always warned. You were always warned, children. You know what I mean? You were warned even by Paul. Be careful that you're not entertaining angels unaware, because the elves have always been on this earth. Now, there's a lot of symbology, that is floating around out here, when it comes down to the eye of Ra. You will see celebrities doing hand signals, or things of that nature. And we automatically are assuming that this is evil. This is Illuminati stuff. This is secret society. Yeah, because that's what you want. That's what everybody wants you to believe. Understand this. If something was truly meant to be secret, it would be secret. Okay? But the true people, the true illuminated ones, are the hidden ones. Okay? But those who decided that they want to come out to the masses and proclaim, that they are the hidden ones, those are possibly elves as well. They are telling you, I am here. 666. Okay? 666. What does 666 mean? Represents the carbon-based life form. Okay? This is representing the flesh. Okay? 6 atoms, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Sorry, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. So when we have this, okay, and then we're saying, I'm going to put this over my eye. Why are you afraid of stuff like this? Why are you afraid of it? It's nothing to fear. They're speaking a language to one another saying that they're here, okay? Whether or not they are of the light or of the dark, it's up to your discernment. I'm not here to say one way or the other, okay? I know that there's both on this earth. And I keep telling you over and over and over again, nothing in of itself is evil. It's your intentions that make it either good or evil, okay? I will give you an example, okay? Now, you might find this funny. I found it funny when I said it, all right? But I don't think, the First Lady found it funny. So even when I was in ministry, right, I was always authentic. I was always telling on myself, because this was something that I told you, I'm not here to look the part. I am what I am. Okay, so that's what it was. And I remember on a Saturday night, and I was very close with my pastor and the first lady. And on a Saturday night, she was asking, what are your plans for this evening? Because they wanted me to come to the house. And I said, well, I actually had plans to play pool. I'm going to the pool hall with a friend of mine. Okay, I'm not going to disclose his name, but I was going to the pool hall with a friend of mine. And I remember her saying to me, well, you're with the church and you're clergy, and it might not be a good look for you to be out there, at night at a pool hall, because you come back on Sunday and everybody's looking up to you. And I remember saying these words, okay? I said, listen, I'm going to play pool, okay? And what pool is a cue stick, and some balls, and hitting those balls in the corner. It's a game, okay? And that doesn't make it good or evil. However, if I use that cue stick and bust you over the side of your head with it, now you can say it's evil. Do you get it? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Just be righteous. All right? Just be righteous in everything that you do. Understand that your body, your vessel, is holding that God consciousness. So if you remember that what you're experiencing, they're experiencing, I bet you'll learn how to walk righteous then. You're going to mess up. Don't even mess up. I mess up all the time. I'm like, hey, sorry you was around for that. That's just what I do. Okay? So when we say omnipresent, it doesn't mean that there's just a spirit everywhere, okay? The spirit resides in you. This is what gives you the ability of foresight, of hearing, of healing, of, prophecy. Whatever it is that you are into, if you are clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, if you're a telepathic, if you're a psychokinetic, if you are medium and things of that nature, these are gifts that were given to those who are trusted. Now, what happens? What happens when we learn about the other half of the scale and not balance in righteousness? Does it become very easy for you to go down the dark path? Yes, it does. Many are called, chosen are few. People get lost in their knowledge. Okay? If you understand how to balance these things, you will be a complete being. Okay? Always remember this. You can lead with the heart, but you need to process with the mind. This is equilibrium. Lead with the heart, process with the mind. That means you need to look at everything that's around you through the eyes of God. If you have connected to that God consciousness, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And here are some clues that you have, and you do know this, okay? Number one, if you have the ability to see and process information from a higher standpoint, whereas though you see the broader picture instead of the small, you're already tapped into that. Okay? So when people are going, oh my God, this is happening, that is happening, and that fear-based mentality starts to take over, you don't have that fear-based mentality. All you see is peace and things working according to what it needs to, because you see the broader picture of everything. Okay? You're not limited to what is happening on the small scale. You're going to step back outside of yourself, and you're going to look at how it affects timelines, humanity, and the collective as a whole. Your mind starts to process information through the eyes of God. Okay? Understand this. So you're not going to think like everybody else. And while everybody else is scared or pointing, or freaking out over certain events, you're sitting here going, okay, I guess it's time. All right? Number two, you don't have a fear of death, dying, transitioning, or anything like that, because you already know who you are and where you're going. Okay? And you know how this life plays out, and you can remember things. That's number three. If you start to recollect certain things from your past lives, certain understandings, you get it. You're in God consciousness. Okay, let's keep going. You're in God consciousness when you understand that everything has its place. Okay, you're in God consciousness when you know that everything has to balance. Okay, everything has to balance. So you can understand the dark and you can understand the light, and you can understand how one is used to perfect the other. Okay, one is used to perfect the other. So therefore, nothing is scary. Nothing is scary. All right, everything is, oh, I have had my bouts of talking with angels, ascended masters, people that transfer over, and demons. Okay, I mean some scary looking demons too. I actually have a picture on my phone of one I caught. All right, I've showed it to a few people, but not everybody. Okay, but it looks like an alien. It looks like some type of goldish alien. Okay, the face is right there and everything, and I saved it to my phone. But when they even come, I don't get into fear. I'm still thinking like, why are you here and who sent you? Because if you're coming to me because you need help and you want to purify your life, I'm all for that. Okay, this is what unconditional love really is. Do you understand? It's knowing that your brothers and sisters are in darkness, but not fearing them, trying to help them get to the light. I don't care how dark they are. And not many are called to do that. So be careful with your walk. Be careful. Be careful. Okay? If you do not feel that you are strong enough to handle this type of walk or mediumship, that when dark spirits come to you, you're going to be afraid of them, then you need to lean on somebody, an ascended master that knows how to deal with them. Don't ever make attempts to deal with them yourself unless you are called to. Okay? So know that, all right? You reach these states of understanding when you can also see and process different timelines. Okay? Some of you can control it. Some of us can't. Okay? I can't control it. I can initiate it, but I can't control when it comes on. Okay, so I have not perfected that part of my journey yet. So if I'm eating, if I'm watching TV, if I'm doing this, that, and the third, and I'm in a different realm, I'm just in a different realm. There's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so if you are one that have the ability to place yourself, do this at will, you are probably an L. All right, now. Me calling gods and goddesses to the Elohims on this earth is not blasphemous because we already know that there's only one creator. Creatrix, well, we already know that there's creator, creatrix. And then it trickles down, okay? Then it trickles down from that. But it does not mean that you weren't or aren't a god or a goddess having a human experience. Be very, very careful with addressing everybody in this manner because you will get some people in trouble. Everybody's not like you. I know that you want them to be. Okay? I know that you hear the story. We're all no. We all are not. Okay? And you're going to know this because the things that work for you, you can't teach them. It won't work for them. The things that you know how to do, you can't teach that. It won't work for them. Okay? And you are set apart. What does it mean to be set apart? Holy. Kadosh. That's what it means. Set apart. All right? So you're a set apart class of beings having a human experience that is not relatable to everybody. If it were so, you wouldn't be as misunderstood as you are. You wouldn't be as targeted as you are. Okay? You would not be as accused as you are. Okay? And people won't like you just because you exist. Don't think in the New Testament that Yeshua was the only one that was crucified. Oh, no. Oh, no. Many who came here on this earth to perfect an understanding, to enlighten humanity, went through the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. The crucifixion story might be different than the others, okay? But just understand there are a lot of crucified saviors. Do you understand? Throughout history, throughout time, throughout different religions. Those of you who are in the know that understand God consciousness, okay, if you're already in God consciousness, if you are an eye of Ra, okay, if you are the being or one of the beings here to allow him or her, source, okay, to experience humanity and judge it through you, then you also know that there are many incarnations and many emanations of the same being. Okay? So go through all of your religious texts and watch the beings that was being harassed. Okay? Watch the beings that were being crucified. Watch the beings that were being falsely accused because of the way that they spoke. The reason why I was charged to have the harder channel is because God told me I was fearless. I didn't believe him at first, right? And so when I first heard it, I said, I'm not fearless. I'm just brave, okay? I have fear too, okay? But he was adamant in saying, no, you are fearless. You are fearless. And you know what? Now I believe him. Took me 2 years, but but now I do. Now I do. I'm not arguing with the divine anymore. I'm just not. So if he says that's what I am, that's what I am. And one of the reasons is because I had to come out and talk like this in front of people. Do you have any idea how difficult this is? Knowing what people are going to label you. Okay? Knowing that many don't understand you. And having to put your face out there in front of people and talk on this level. Knowing that you can be called everything under the sun. It takes a level of fearlessness to do this. Do you understand? And it's not an easy journey. It's not. Because there are tests to see if you're ready. Can you handle the knowledge that was given to you? Can you handle the wisdom that is given to you? Okay? Now, when we understand balance in the universe, we are not in a mindset of duality anymore. But duality was presented to humanity so that they can push them to the lighter path. Okay? If we make something so terrible and scary on this path, hopefully humans will choose that path. Okay? So the duality was here for a reason. Okay? It wasn't to deceive people. It was because people could not process what really goes on in the universe. Okay? What really goes on behind the scenes. It could scare some people to death. Okay? It really could. Or cause a state of confusion or cause them to lose their way. Once again, I've always told you, I'm not here for those. If I make you uncomfortable by any means necessary, if I feel like, if you feel like I'm taking you off your path or off your journey, please disconnect from this journey. Disconnect from this channel. All right? Because ultimately, my goal is to see all of us ascend. No man left behind, if possible. Okay? I want to see all of us ascend, and we'll all do it in different ways. Don't compare oranges and apples. Don't do that. I'm talking to a specific group. Some others are talking to a whole group. Okay? So the information may not match, but you have to get in where you fit in. Okay? And wherever you fit in, if it causes you to be the best version of yourself, to clean up this karma, to go through your ascension process and get out of this realm, go for it. Please. Okay? Go for it. I'm okay with people not liking me. All right? But I just wanted to explain to you the Eye of Ra and a lot of the symbolism. Are they announcing that they're here in human form? Yes. Yes. Are they telling you that we are illuminated? Yes. Yes. But that does not mean that you aren't. Just because you're not involved in an organization or society, you're the ones getting the top level downloads. You understand? And chances are, if you have them, it was meant to share with the people who can accept it. Milk for babes, meat for grown-ups. All right? So that's all that I wanted to say, because I couldn't do the PowerPoint presentation. I was going to show you and break down a lot of the images that you're seeing and what it means to be that I and to walk in that consciousness and represent God. You are needed. You are needed. Okay? If you are an Eye of Ra, you are processing this earth through his eyes or her eyes, however you want to say it. Okay? Doesn't matter one way or the other for me. Just understand that that's what's happening, and that's what makes source omnipresent through you, omnipotent through you, all of that, omnipotent through you. Anytime miracles were done on this earth, they were done through, do you understand? If you are the eye of Ra, get to work, get to understanding, and help co-create. That's it. I am Sophie. I love you all.